Well, a very good evening on the Sunday evening, 12th of February 23. I'm just sitting here, I've just posted something else on YouTube. Yesterday's muddled up part one and part two. I've done them now, but I'll have to change part one. I'm not happy with it completely. And obviously somebody else is not happy. I saw a dislike, so I think I know why, but there we go. I was up at Almarie today, and I did stop at the Small Glen, a bit of natter about low vibrationals, but I headed up to Almarie, and it was a bit strange actually, because I pulled into the car park, and obviously it's not a public toilet, but it is a place of convenience, if you understand. That's why it's a public car park, but there's vast amounts of heather in the backdrop, and you're out of sight as well for a piss. But and that is the location, the exact location where, of course, I met the ageless woman back in September, who's still in my energy. Yeah, and going back to September, I was obviously giving it a bit of thought, and as a result, the reason I'm mentioning it, as a result, I also thought back to last summer, because I spent a lot of time at Almarie Car Park for various reasons, and doing a bit of writing up there at the bench and stuff, and also I'd spent a lot of time. That's the be all and end all. And one day I was sitting on the bench having a cigarette, and this girl approached me. I saw her coming across the car park, and she was a very friendly dog with her. And so she came over and she said, "How you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm just sitting here gathering my thoughts." She said, "You okay?" I said, and so perception was quite good, because I wasn't really. But I was having a cigarette, and so she chatted for a moment. I said, "What are you up to yourself?" She said, "Just going over there." But anyway, so when I looked at the patch of ground where she, I presume that's where she would have sat. I had noticed a floral wreath, a withered floral wreath had been tucked away in some cranny there for quite some time, and it did cross my mind that it might have been some connection there with her. I don't know, but nevertheless, today I just I thought about her for a moment, and I thought it's strange how you meet people and never see them again. Well, I couldn't believe it. I headed along the I headed along the Glenquake Road to the usual point that I normally stop opposite the gate. And lo and behold, she came along the road jogging. And I reckon she must have recognised my motor, because she gave me this enormous smile and wave. And so I obviously acknowledged her, waved back. I thought, how extraordinary. I just thought about her a few minutes earlier, and there she goes. And I hadn't seen her since last August, I'm sure. July or August time at least, yeah. It was very, very strange. And then she came back again. And she went over the brow of the hill, and I thought, well, that's her gone. And I had opened my camera to do some dialogue, and then, of course, I kept interjecting with comments about her passing, so it rather kind of fumbled and jumbled my monologue for my own uploads. So I've kind of decided not to use it at all. But the point of this opening the camera this evening here at the home address is that she came back again. So I stepped out the motor, as I was intending to do anyway. I shouted over to her, "Are you doing time trials?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm doing this and that." I said, "Good luck." And of course, from that moment onwards, she was back and forward several times, so I kind of gave her, the space that she needs and just let her get on with what she's doing, and I was getting on with what I was doing, just sort of wandering around and having a look at things. Anyway, I just thought it was rather extraordinary because, and there's been so many things that have happened over the last few months that most people, if I put it into a timeline and was in discussion, I think most people would switch off. They would probably find it unbelievable. Quite simply unbelievable. They wouldn't be able to comprehend that so much synchronicities and coincidences could happen to any one person in such a short space of time. I thought that the angelic numbers had gone, but no, the angel numbers have reappeared, and I very much think that these numbers had gone, or at least in some way were less visible to me. I did say that I wasn't out so much in December, so that may have been the reason, but certainly over the last few days I've seen countless sets of 555, 222, 333s, 444, 777s, you name it. I did park up today between two vehicles which had 222 and 555. So that felt pretty good as well. But as I say, back to that old lady, I keep correcting myself, ageless woman, because it's difficult to tell how old she was because her skin was of youth, but she had fairly white straggly hair, so her hair looked absolutely ancient. Her skin and her eyes were like somebody from early 20s. It was really quite extraordinary, and the whole circumstances of that person, I've not publicly disclosed everything anyway, and I don't think I ever will, because I think now, on hindsight, I think that it was meant to be a bit of a private conjecture, and I don't think I was meant to go public with any of it, in all honesty. But I dare say that I was so taken aback of the whole event that evening that because I was involved with my camera work so extensively at the time, I felt the need to get that mentioned, and I have mentioned it several times, but I'm not going to mention any more about what was actually said, particularly when she came back to speak with me while I was about to drop off to sleep one night. Very clear, very concise. But I think the fact I went to Fowles Wester and made arrangements to try and find out what grave she was talking about. I'm sure that's the gravestone, and it had my name on it, my first name. It was very odd. It's the only one I could think it was. But it's even more remarkable that despite some inquiries, no one could place this woman in these small communities up that neck of the woods, or even out as far as Rannoch, well, at least Kinloch Rannoch, where she suggested she was living, but not in the community. And her name is so strange that I've not really forgotten anything about that evening. It was just, who could forget something like that? It was unbelievable. And I'm certainly very much of the opinion she was an angel, at least a heaven-sent human with all the attributes of an angel, because she just knew everything about me. She seemed to know my circumstances. And as I said already, we were both reading each other's minds as we spoke, not in a intrusive way, but just it was a very open channel between us, and I was quite surprised as how much information I seemed to glean off her just by looking at her. It was very odd indeed. It certainly changed the course for me in everything that was happening, because from then on I did tend to pick up in lots of areas of my life.